Part 109. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1082. Chapter 1082 Earth Basin Manufacturing Drawings. Rice Seeds. Obtain Mini-map. What drawings do you have? I am a special soldier of the FG country. In addition to the furnace manufacturing drawings, there is also a Earth Basin manufacturing drawing. We can add a friend first to facilitate more transactions in the future. Suchan thought for a while and added friends with the other person. Then he made a note, a person who calls himself a special soldier. In other words, Suchan is always skeptical no matter what the other person says. This is something he has learned on the internet over the years. Get used to it. After all, in the modern internet environment, there are really too many scammers. How do you want to redeem the drawings? Just make it a little higher than the big guy's price on the trading platform. Suchan thought for a while. Then I'll give you 2 more servings of cat meat at the original price, how about that? Cat meat. The other party was silent for a while. Well, it's not tasty though. Suchan smiled. I believe that many players have this kind of helplessness. Although the other party claims to be a special soldier, the current player's needs for food and water are the most urgent. Even if Suchan gives something like cat meat that is not delicious, it's better than nothing. After all, no matter how delicious it is, it's still food. In this way, Suchan spent 300 ml of water and 2 portions of cat meat in exchange for 2 copies of the manufacturing diagram. Ding. You get furnace manufacturing blueprint *1. Ding. You get earth basin manufacturing drawings *1. The blueprint for making an earthen basin just gives Suchan the skills to make an earthen basin. This earthen basin is the basis for sowing seeds. An earthen basin can sow a kind of seed. It is like a small piece of cultivated land in a planting game. Making an earthen basin requires sand *1. Wood board *1. What is needed is very simple and Suchan can make it at any time. Making a furnace requires sand 2, iron block 5, copper block 2, wood board 2. Suchan also has all the materials needed to make a furnace. Well, when I have time later, I will make these 2 things, and then I can smelt the ore into metal. Suchan continued to search around the cave. To his surprise, he found a small cluster of rice straws at the edge of the cave. These rice straws had already produced golden ears of wheat. And the grains were full. I go. Can you finally eat rice? Ding. You get rice *1. Ding. You get rice *1. Ding. You get rice straw *2. Ding. You get rice seeds *2. There were very few rice straws, but Suchan was still overjoyed and got 2 rice seeds. With the rice seeds, I believe he can get more rice through planting. He will not have to worry about eating rice in the future. As for the rice straws, at present, it is just a weed, used to start a fire. But now that Suchan has a fireplace, there is no need to start a fire. The 2 portions of rice are both white floured rice grains that have taken off the bran. This is the point of this world. The cave survival game is still very user-friendly. It eliminates the process of rice grinding. However, these 2 portions of rice are very small and can only cook about 2 bowls of rice. From this point of view, I still lack kitchen utensils. At least I need a pot to cook. Kitchen utensils definitely require manufacturing drawings. Suchan has already listed these drawings on the trading platform, but no players are currently trading them. Probably no one found it. Just when Suchan was planning to continue digging new passages, a reminder suddenly sounded in my mind. Haven't you noticed anything strange about 1 meter below your feet? Hearing this prompt, Suchan quickly lowered his head. What's different about the dirt ground like other places? Only this, a devil knows there's something strange. let alone 1 meter underground. Suchen quickly swung the shovel and dug. Get up. Soon, something like parchment was dug out. Ding. You get mini-map *1. I'll go. It's actually a map. If you didn't ask for a reminder, who would have known that good things can be buried underground? Suchen was grateful for the reminder and quickly checked this small map. Mini-map displays cave information 3 steps around your current location. After unfolding, there are 3 levels of crypts around Suchen, with all information marked on the top. The first level is the information about the crypts in 6 directions around Suchen. It means that this map is a holographic projection. It shows the 6 directions of up, down, left, front and back. 3-dimensional space in a direction. Based on the information inside, Suchen tried to observe the surroundings. There is a terrifying burrow monster in this direction. If you go in, you are just going to deliver food. Looking at the map, there is a monster pattern marked on the map, and then a cross is written on it, which probably means that entry is not allowed. There is a small amount of food in this direction and no danger. The map is marked with a green check mark, and a bread pattern is also drawn on it. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1083. Chapter 1083 Blue Treasure Box. Goldfinger's complaints. Build a basic parapet. This direction is all sea water, so don't go in unless you can dig a channel out before you drown. The corresponding pattern on the map is a pattern of water, and then a cross. After comparing it all the way, Suchen found that the information on the map was still very accurate. Of course, Suchen didn't know whether this map would display real-time information. After all, he has encountered it before. When a cave monster enters another cave, the prompt will change accordingly. But he just doesn't know if this map will change. Suchen continues to go outside the map. Look at the next level. On the 3rd level, he found a cave marked with a blue treasure chest, and then there was a monster image with a cross. There's a blue treasure chest, there's a cave monster, and it's impossible to enter. Does it mean that the burrow monster inside is too powerful, so I can't enter? Suchen thinks that this map may be for ordinary players. With the current strength of ordinary players, it is indeed impossible to fight against such burrow monsters. But Suchen felt that he might have a chance. It is a blue treasure chest after all. It's obviously a level higher than the green treasure chest. I don't know what good things are inside. The temptation of the blue treasure chest was too high, so Suchen felt that he could take the risk. At worst, when he reached the 2nd floor, he was reminded that he was just delivering food and then chose another direction. Anyway, the blue treasure chest marked on the map was going to there are resources in 2 directions around the corresponding 2nd level crypt that can be searched. After making up his mind, Suchen put the map away. In this way, Suchen had a general direction. According to the location of the blue treasure chest, I should dig to the left first. Suchen observed it. There are some resources in this direction and there is no danger. Suchen dug through and teleported there. On the surface, there was nothing in this new cave. Suchen waited for a while. The prompt sounded. Underfoot. Underfoot. Wouldn't you dig deeper into the ground? Suchen. He didn't expect that Goldfinger would still complain after being prompted. Does this mean he is too stupid? Suchen shook his head. He is obviously smart enough and is waiting for Goldfinger's prompt. After all, who wants to dig around stupidly when there is a golden finger? Swing the shovel and dig under your feet. Ding. You get iron pot *1. Ding. You get big wooden spoon *1. Ding. You get large porcelain bowl *3. Ding. You get porcelain cup *1. There are 4 kinds of things in total. They are all kitchen utensils and tableware. but there are no chopsticks. Of course, Suchen doesn't need these things. He can just use a wooden board to cut out 2 chopsticks. Well, in this way, there is no shortage of kitchen utensils and tableware. Suchen expressed a little satisfaction. After waiting for a while, no new prompts appeared. It means that Suchen has dug out everything here. He took out the small map and determined the direction. He frowned. He wanted to go to the 3rd place. There is a treasure chest on the 1st floor, and you need to pass through a place where there is a burrow monster. However, there is a check mark in that place, showing that the burrow monster is not in the cave. In other directions, there is a cave with some materials. Forget it, it's worth giving up some materials for the blue treasure chest. Suchen looked towards the direction of the cave where the cave monster left. There are no resources in this direction. It was originally the territory of 2 wild wolves. However, these 2 wild wolves have gone out to look for food and are safe for the time being. Suchen heard that it was safe for the time being and hurriedly excavated. When he reached the transmission channel, he confirmed again. There are no resources in this direction. It was originally the territory of 2 wild wolves. However, these 2 wild wolves have already gone out to look for food. However, they seem to have found the food and are rushing back. If you go in at this time, you will definitely hit them. Want to come back? So soon? Suchen took out the small map, which still showed that the cave monster had not returned. Suchen waited for a while. The prompt was there are no resources in this direction. It is the territory of 2 wild wolves. They found food. Have returned to the territory and are about to enjoy the delicious food. If you go in, you can kill them if you pay a certain price. I'm going. I'm back now. I looked at the small map again, and it still showed that the burrowing monster has not come back. It seems that this small map will only show the map situation during that time period when I got it. It does not change in real time. After getting this information, Suchen trusted his golden finger even more. The mini-map can only be used as an auxiliary function, and he should be more cautious at critical moments. Suchen can only wait carefully next to the teleportation array in the cave passage. And there are still 1 cubic meter of sand was backfilled to serve as a basic protective wall. At the same time, he kept holding a crossbow in his hand. He was just afraid that the 2 wild wolves would suddenly run out again. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1084. Chapter 1084 Comparing people with each other makes people angry. Scope manufacturing drawings. Continue to observe. With some resources in this direction, the 2 wild wolves enjoyed 1 prey, and they plan to keep the remaining prey until the next day. If you go in, you can kill them for a certain price. Why does this prompt sound wrong? Suchen frowned. Enjoyed a prey, and then somehow got a little more resources. Could it be the bones left over from eating prey? Suchen was puzzled. However, he was reminded that he had to pay a price to defeat these 2 wild wolves. This still did not comply with Suchen's safety-first principle. I don't know if there is any way to kill these 2 wild wolves without taking any damage. The key is that if these 2 wild wolves don't deal with it, he won't be able to pass through this cave. And if he can't pass through this cave, then he won't be able to reach the cave with the blue treasure chest. The reason why he chose this route is because of the blue color treasure chest. We can only wait and see if there is any improvement. Suchen backfilled some of the sand. He returned to the original cave and unfolded the small black ball. His cabin in Cave Paradise appeared again. At least, hiding in the cabin, he didn't have to worry about being attacked by the outside world. He killed the one before. This safety has been verified when fighting the fierce dog. The cave monsters cannot attack the cave heaven-blessed land. Suchen took out the automatic water collector and furnace. Put wooden boards into the water collector and put wooden boards into the furnace. The furnace requires 5 times as many wooden boards as the water collector, and can only smelt one piece of ore at a time, but can continuously smelt the ore 3 times. That is, about one wooden board can smelt one piece of ore. However, this thing needs to be added manually. Ore needs to be added about every 10 minutes, which is also quite troublesome. After all, it's not an automatic device. If it were an automatic device, it shouldn't be so troublesome. Next, Suchen made another earthen pot. 5 in total. He planted the rice seeds and hawthorn tree seeds he obtained before. Look at the display above. It will take about a day to grow up. This is many times faster than the time required in reality. This should also be a benefit brought by this game. At least you don't have to wait for a year and a half for a bite to eat. Here Suchen is busy in his cabin. Over there, I would run out from time to time to observe the passage in that direction. With some resources in this direction, the 2 wild wolves enjoyed one prey, and they plan to keep the remaining prey until the next day. If you go in, you can kill them for a certain price. It's still the same sentence. Suchen shook his head. It seems that if you want to go to the cave where the blue treasure box is located, you have to wait until the 2 wild wolves go out to look for food again. While he was bored, Suchen went shopping, go to the chat channel and find that everyone is talking about him. Did you hear that? The boss numbered XXXX even trades a little bit of meat. You can imagine how far people's living standards have reached. Oh, I saw it, didn't you see that there is a piece of food listed on the trading platform? There is cat meat. Although it is not delicious, it is very filling. At this time, I can even chew a piece of bark, let alone cat meat. It's so annoying to be so close to each other, but I heard that other big guys have already become friends with this big guy with the number XXX. It is said that private transactions are more favorable. I wipe it? Is there such a benefit? If you hadn't told me earlier, I would have gone to the boss's friend to see if I could exchange the sand for some water, but I was so thirsty. Whispering sound. Do you dare to take out the sand and replace it? Do you really think that the boss is organizing a charity meeting? At this time, in this kind of game, if the boss is not stupid, why would he change it with you? I have a manufacturing drawing here, I don't know if the boss will accept it or not. After looking around, everyone seemed to be envious of Suchen's living standard. But it's no wonder that Suchen got the golden finger, while others were cautious, frightened and confused. If you encounter a cave monster that you can't resist, you'll be in trouble. But only Suchen knew all kinds of information in advance. In this way, you can seek good luck and avoid bad luck anytime and anywhere. Just like now, when he sees 2 wild wolves in the cave ahead, he can choose to retreat temporarily. Bide your time. Accumulating like this, Suchen's advantage over ordinary players will only get bigger and bigger. Suchen opened the private exchange column. Oops. Hey guys, tens of thousands of messages have accumulated in it. They all want to add him as a friend, make deals with him, or directly pray for alms. Suchen chose to block all the useless messages. Only those who trade with some valuable exchange items are left. Well, site manufacturing blueprint, in exchange for food and water? What is this? Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1085. Chapter 1085 Refining the Scope. Suchen read the description above. Scope manufacturing drawings, can be used to make a scope, pretending to be on a long-range weapon, which can improve the accuracy of attacks. This thing is just right for me. Suchen looked at the other party's request. He only needed to exchange for 500 ml of water or a portion of snake meat. Suchan thought about it and realized that the automatic water collector had just produced 500 ml of water. Suchan didn't lower the price either. Yes, trade with him directly. Ding. You get site manufacturing blueprint *1. Ding. You gain a new skill scope manufacturing. I looked at the materials required for production: crystal 1, copper block 1, iron block *1. He has both copper and iron blocks. But he had never heard of this crystal. Suchan tried now and continued to search for the keyword, crystal, in the private chat history. See if anyone trades this thing. If not, we can only give up making this thing. Really? After some searching, there was actually a person who wanted to exchange the crystal for Suchan. The request was just for 30 ml of water and a portion of food. It seemed that this person was also very hungry. After all, the crystal was in his hand and he couldn't eat it. Drink. This man was almost starving and thirsty, so why did he need crystals? Suchan didn't take advantage of him too much. He immediately exchanged 50 ml of water and a portion of lizard meat with him. The other party was very grateful. Thank you, boss. Thank you so much. You saved my life. I've been hungry for 2 days and 2 nights. Suchan smiled. He immediately chose to make a scope. Ding. Consuming crystal 1, copper block 1, iron block 1, you successfully created scope 1. This is a scope that is the same as a sniper rifle, but slightly larger. The whole body is made of brass, with some iron wires inside. There are crystal lenses on both sides. Suchan took out the hand crossbow and placed the scope on it. Above. There was a click. The scope actually changed its size automatically and was fixed on the front end of the hand crossbow. Suchan picked it up and looked at it, and found that it was very clear. It can indeed improve the accuracy to a certain extent. Suchan thought for a while, and then went to that channel look over. With some resources in this direction, the 2 wild wolves enjoyed one prey, and they planned to keep the remaining prey until the next day. If you go in, there is a certain probability that you can kill them at a small cost. The prompt has changed a bit. In the past, you had to pay a price to kill 2 wild wolves. Now, you can kill the wild wolves with a certain probability of paying a small injury. In other words, with the addition of a sight, Suchan, the strength has been improved to a certain extent. Well, I also have 2 copies of Fierce Dog Blood. After taking it, I don't know if it will improve the winning rate of these 2 wild wolves. Just as he was about to take a nap, Suchan suddenly had an idea flash through his mind. Etc. I don't know if scope can be refined with green. After refining, can I continue to improve my strength? Just do it if you think of it. When you got a green treasure chest before, there was an extra green. Suchan took it out immediately. I don't know if 1 is enough, so I can only leave it to fate. He had refined 2 weapons before, but he had to refine them twice before he succeeded. Now there is only 1 green left, and he doesn't know if he can succeed in one go. Ding. Consume green *1, refining successfully. Congratulations on getting the green scope *1. The sight installed on the front of the hand crossbow suddenly started to glow with green light. It looked more sophisticated, and there seemed to be red light flowing in the 2 lenses. Refining successful. Suchan picked up the crossbow and moved closer to the scope. Hiss. There are actually red dots? What is this red dot? Tip: this is a weak point attack. As long as it hits the red dot, it is equivalent to hitting the opponent's weak point and can deal double damage. A reminder sound suddenly sounded in his mind. Suchan was overjoyed. Damn it! After successfully refining my scope, I actually got a weak point attack. He often plays games, but he understands the meaning of weak point attack very well. This is equivalent to increasing his strength by at least 50%. Others can deal 100 points of damage with one arrow, but he can hit 200 points with one arrow. Hit. One arrow is equivalent to two others. This is of great significance. It can be said that with this green sight, his crossbow has exceeded the green grade weapon. The power is even more amazing. Suchen suddenly thought of a maybe. I quickly looked towards that passage again. With some resources in this direction, the two wild wolves enjoyed one prey, and they planned to keep the remaining prey until the next day. If you go in, you can kill them directly. The prompt has changed again. Before, there was a certain probability that you could kill two wild wolves with a small injury. But now, you can kill them directly. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1086. Chapter 1086 Obtaining the Ownerless Damaged Cave Heaven Paradise. Stable. Suchen was overjoyed. However, he did not rush over directly. Instead, he adjusted his condition first and rested for a short while. Then he put away the Cave Heaven Paradise and headed to the teleportation channel. Then he observed the opposite side first. Found that the prompt had not changed. He picked up the hand crossbow, took a deep breath, and plunged directly into the transmission channel. Whoops! Suchen entered the new cave. Immediately, the strong smell of blood came over. Suchen took a closer look. Only I saw two wild wolves eating. The flesh and blood underneath was blurry. But I could still clearly see a human head, as well as leftover hands and feet. Some clothes and fabrics could also be seen. Damn it! The prey mentioned in the prompt is actually a human. No. It's not a person, it's a player. When Suchen thought of this possibility, his face immediately became very ugly. It was one thing for him to fight the player himself, but it was another thing to actually see the cave monster eating the player. After all, he himself was one of the players. Seeing this situation, he felt uncomfortable after all. But he did not forget what he came to do. The smell of blood and the terrifying sight made his mind sober. Directly at the first opportunity, aim the hand crossbow scope at one of the wild wolves. The red dot in the scope immediately covers the forehead of a wild wolf. Logically speaking, wolves generally have copper heads and tails. They have tofu waist. The head is the hardest. But since the scope points the red dot at the wolf's forehead, it proves that the wolf in this global cave survival game is different from the real one. Its forehead, that's its weakness. Bang! After aiming at the red dot on the opponent's forehead, Suchen immediately pressed the trigger decisively. The crossbow arrow roared loudly and sank into the wild wolf's forehead in an instant. Wow! Ding! Congratulations on successfully killing Wild Wolf 1, obtaining Soul 1, Wolf Fang 2, Wolf Meat 2, Wolf Blood 2, and Wolf Skin 1. It turned out to be an instant kill with one arrow. Suchen was overjoyed. The weak point attack was so powerful. He killed a wild wolf instantly with just one arrow. But at this time, the other wild wolf reacted and opened its bloody mouth. He charged at Suchen angrily. Suchen calmed down and continued to aim the scope at the wild wolf. Without moving, when the target hit the red dot on the opponent's forehead, Suchen decisively pulled the trigger again. Collapse. Sharp arrow. It sank into the forehead of the second wild wolf. The latter fell to the ground. Instant kill. Ding. Congratulations on successfully killing Wild Wolf 1, obtaining Soul 1, Wolf Fang 2, Wolf Meat 2, Wolf Blood 2, and Wolf Skin 1. The two wild wolves, which were originally fierce and powerful, were defeated with just 2 arrows in Suchen's hands. This made Suchen feel that his combat power was greatly improved. Trading this scope blueprint is really not a loss. Suchen came to the center of the cave. He found some scattered wooden boards, iron blocks, and a mineral water bottle around. There was only a little water in the bottle. This should be the so-called resource in the prompt. It turns out this is how it came about. Suchan felt a little depressed. After all, he couldn't get rid of this feeling of pity for the same kind. Suchan estimated that he would have to wait until he got used to seeing life and death before he could take it lightly. This is the little black ball left behind by the deceased. Suchan found a small black ball stained with blood on the side. Ding. You get the ownerless damaged cave paradise *1. Decompose or not? Huh. Can it still be decomposed? All of a sudden, countless thoughts burst into Suchan's mind. When a player dies, its little black ball will fall. And the dropped little black ball will be picked up by other players and can be decomposed. Then, in the future, when players know this news, will there be someone dedicated to hunt down players? Not only to seize the materials from the opponent, but also to seize the little black ball. Well, how likely this is, the key depends on the decomposition of the little black ball. Finally, how many good things can be obtained? Suchan immediately chose to decompose. Ding. The ownerless broken cave heaven paradise -1, you get wood spirit talisman 1, water spirit talisman 1, fire spirit talisman 1, earth spirit talisman 1, wind spirit talisman *1. Damn it! You can actually get a complete set of all the spiritual talismans. Suchan was shocked. The benefits of this decomposition are enough to make other players want to hunt down the same kind. It seems I need to be more wary of other players. Suchan was secretly alert. At this moment, a subtle rustling sound came from the side. Suchan quickly raised his crossbow and aimed in the direction of the sound. Suchan was stunned when he saw what was in the scope. It was another player. This player was a young woman in her 20s. Judging from her appearance, she was about average. But her whole body was bloody. Her hands and feet, they were all bitten, and the wounds were so deep that the bones were visible. But the most fatal thing was the 2 holes in the neck that were clearly made by wild wolf teeth. Not much blood flowed out from them. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1087. Chapter 1087 Youngyaksha Guard. But this female player seemed to feel Suchan's arrival. Trying hard to open your eyes. Trying hard to make noise. With this kind of effort, Suchan could instantly understand what she meant. It was just 2 words, save me. But Suchan sighed secretly in his heart. He was so injured that he was already on his deathbed. Not to mention that he didn't have healing medicine. Even if he did, he probably wouldn't be able to revive her. 1 minute later. Female players are completely silent. Ding. There is an unowned cave paradise ahead. Do you want to pick it up? The prompt sounded. Suchan understood that the female player was dead. Seeing the body of the female player, Suchan understood another rule of this game. After the player dies, the body will not disappear. Unless a player chooses to decompose it. Suchan shook his head and got rid of this idea. He took out the shovel and dug a hole in the center of the cave. He swept in the body of the female player and the scattered bones of the other player. Then buried. Although we can't erect a monument for them, it's better than exposing their corpses in the wilderness and letting other cave monsters eat them. This female player didn't have any supplies on her body, only a fast wooden board and a small half of a dry, hard, and moldy one. Steamed bun. Suchan buried this steamed bun. He wouldn't eat it anyway. He put away the wooden board and the ownerless little black ball left by the female player. After decomposing, Suchan once again obtained a complete set of talismans. From this speed, killing players and breaking down the opponent's little black balls is really the most convenient way to collect supplies. Suchen looked at the wolf meat and wolf blood obtained by killing the two wild wolves. They had no special effects. Moreover, the wolf meat was woody and not tasty. What's more, these two wild wolves had eaten people before. Once Suchen felt sick when he thought that these wolf meats were grown after eating human flesh. I can't eat it myself, but I can trade it. Suchen put the wolf meat and wolf blood on the trading platform. It was quickly traded with other players for supplies. These hungry players will not care that these wild wolves eat people, and they will not know. Do it? Well. Suchen plans to leave here quickly. The main reason is that the smell of blood here is too strong. According to common sense, this will easily attract other predators. It is very unsafe. Suchen looks around. There are also some supplies in other directions. But the most important thing is that his target, the passage where the blue treasure box is located, is right in front. It's time to get this blue treasure chest. Suchen looked at the passage. Ding! There is a blue treasure chest in this direction, but there is a very powerful cave monster guarding here. With your strength, you can barely drive it away. Huh? Just expel it? Does this burrow monster have any other skills? After killing two wild wolves in succession, Suchen has greatly increased his confidence in his own strength. He doesn't think that he can't continue to kill the third burrow monster. Strange. But the information revealed in the prompt showed that he could not successfully kill this cave monster. The latter would probably choose to escape after finding out that he could not defeat Suchen. Let's take a look first and try our best to kill it. If it doesn't work, I can only let it run away. After all, my goal is the blue treasure box. Suchen looked at the time. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning. After finishing this job, I just had lunch. In less than a minute, the tunnel was dug. Looking at the transmission tunnel in front of me, the prompt sounded again. Ding! There is a blue treasure chest in this direction, but there is a very powerful Yungyasha guarding here. With your strength, you can barely drive it away. Is this burrow monster's name finally revealed? Yungyasha. Suchen imagined what this cave monster looked like based on the literal meaning. Since he is a child, he shouldn't be very strong, but the reminder mentions that he is very powerful. Maybe it's because he is timid because he is young, so he might be scared away by me. Suchen guessed the meaning of the prompt. After thinking about it, he finally decided to give it a try. He picked up the crossbow and loaded the crossbow arrows. He stepped into the teleportation channel. With a snap, Suchen appeared on the edge of the new cave. This cave is very huge, with a radius of 50 meters from front to back, and a height of more than 30 meters. In the center of the cave, there is a stone platform. On the stone platform, there is a blue treasure box. And in the center of the cave is a blue treasure box. Next to the stone platform, there is a giant terrifying monster with a height of 10 meters. It is walking around the stone platform. While walking, it looks like it is meditating. It also looks at the blue treasure box a few times. It looks like it's like he wants to open a treasure chest but can't find a way. Jinima is a young yaksha. Is there such a giant baby? Suchen's heart suddenly felt like 10,000 grass and mud horses were galloping past. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1088. Chapter 1088 Special Item Elf Egg. If I had known that this young yaksha was so huge, even if I beat him to death, he would not come over. What a cheating reminder, but he actually said that he could barely expel this terrifying cave monster. I believed your ghost. Your golden finger is very bad. However, no matter how much Suchen complained in his heart, he still relied on his instinct and picked up the crossbow as soon as possible. The scope was placed on the young yaksha, and the red dot landed on the back of the young yaksha's head. This young yaksha has blue skin all over its body. The limbs are slender and tall, but there is a pair of sharp horns on the top of the head. There are 2 fangs on the side of the mouth, and it feels like you can grin your mouth to the back of your ears when you smile. It was truly terrifying to watch. It just so happened that this guy's back was turned to him. A crash. The crossbow arrow accurately hit the back of this guy's head. I saw this 10-meter tall young yaksha, screaming in pain. He jumped up immediately and jumped more than 10 meters high. Almost hit the ceiling. Scum, 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 scum. The young yaksha shouted in a voice that Suchen couldn't understand, which was very harsh. Turning around, he saw Suchen. The latter continued to activate the semi-automatic shooting function of the hand crossbow. Bang, bang, bang. The crossbow arrows shot one after another. About 80% of them can successfully hit this guy. This young yaksha saw that Suchen was so small, so he would step over and slap the little bug to death. But he didn't expect that Suchen fired an arrow in half a second, and it was unable to avoid it. The more I ejaculate, the more it hurts. Especially the first arrow that hit the back of the head felt more and more painful. I even started to feel a little dizzy. The young yaksha is not stupid either, he feels that he is not in good condition. He actually jumped up. Then his head fell directly into the soil. Young yaksha has been expelled by you. The prompt sounded. Suchen quickly looked down. There is a young yaksha escaping in this direction. 3 seconds passed. This direction is empty. I'll go. He ran so fast. Suchen didn't expect this guy to be so smart. He ran away when the situation was bad. He didn't even see how this guy got into the ground. He was so big. Completely incomprehensible. Unless, this guy knows some kind of earth escape technique. A strange idea popped into Suchen's mind. But no matter what, this cave is safe. Suchen came to the stone platform. The stone platform was not high, about 1.5 meters. Suchen couldn't even jump. Just climbed up. This treasure chest has a mechanism. The prompt sounded. Suchen was shocked. Fortunately, the stone platform was big enough, about 2 meters square. Suchen went around behind the blue treasure box. Then he opened the treasure box carefully. Can't open it? I found that it was not brought up. Only then did he start to observe the treasure box. He found that there was an inconspicuous machine lock on it. Could it be that the agency mentioned in the prompt refers to this? Fortunately, he thought there was a secret arrow in the treasure chest. After researching for a while, he found that it was the Lubin lock on the internet. It looked very complicated. In fact, as long as you find the inconspicuous wooden bar inside, you can solve it step by step. Open everything. Suchen searched for a while and finally found the wooden stick. Thanks to this Lubin lock, otherwise, the baby yaksha would have taken away the treasure inside. Suchen thought of the way the young yaksha walked around the treasure chest, frowning and thinking, and smiled. Now he carefully took out the wooden strip. The rest will be simple. Step by step, he took out the other mortise and tenon structural wooden strips. With a click, Lubin lock it's open. Suchen is about to open the treasure box. This treasure chest has a mechanism. Huh. There are also agencies. What agency is Nima referring to? Can you make it clear? Suchen complained about this golden finger. After searching for a long time, he didn't find any hidden locks such as Lubin locks. He thought about it. Could it be that there is a mechanism in the treasure box? Suchen shook his head. No matter, go around to the back and open it to try. Suchen walked behind the treasure box and opened it slowly and carefully. When the treasure box was opened at an angle of about 30 degrees, there was a whoosh. An arrow with a tip coated with blue venom suddenly shot. Come out. If Suchen stood in front of this treasure box and opened it, he would definitely be hit. Oh my god. There are really mechanisms inside. Suchen wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. Then he looked at the treasure box. There is no danger in this treasure chest. Huh. Suchen breathed a sigh of relief. He opened the treasure box. There were several things inside. The most obvious one was a colorful egg in the center. An Easter eggs. Suchen picked up the things in the treasure box one by one. Ding. You get the special item elf egg *1. Ding. You get wood spirit talisman *3. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1089. Chapter 1089 Green Equipment Levitating Ring. Lightning Paralysis Effect. Ding. You get Water Talisman *3. Ding. You get Fire Talisman *3. Ding. You get Earth Spirit Talisman *3. Ding. You get Wind Spirit Talisman *3. Ding. You get Green Equipment Levitation Ring *1. Let me go. What a great harvest. I got 3 sets of spiritual talismans. In addition to the 2 sets I got earlier, and the one I got from the trading platform. Suchen has collected 6 sets so far. He only needs 4 sets. I have collected the materials needed to upgrade Dongtian Paradise. In addition, there is also a green equipment levitating ring. Levitation ring allows the wearer to gain the ability to levitate and fly. Seeing this explanation, Suchen was surprised and happy. You can actually let me levitate in the air. Suchen had the urge to put on this ring and fly away. But there was still something he didn't want to see, so he could only suppress the urge at the moment. Elf eggs? What is this for? Suchen looked at this elf egg. Special item, elf egg. After dripping blood, it can be hatched and the elves inside will automatically recognize their master. Well, it's actually a pet egg. Suchen understood immediately after reading the explanation. This news also made him feel happy. It has been 2 days since he entered the global cave survival game. He has always been alone. If he can have a pet by his side, it will be a great success. A good thing, at least it won't be so lonely. It would be even more beautiful if this pet could assist in fighting. Suchen followed the instructions and dropped a drop of blood on the colored egg. The blood drop was immediately absorbed by the egg. And then quickly, a click. The Easter egg was full of cracks. Then it cracked with a click. An elf as big as a palm flew out from it. This elf looked like a girl, except that there was a pair of colorful translucent wings behind it. But the size was only about the size of Suchen's slap. The little elf looked beautiful and cute flying out of it. As soon as it flew out, it flapped its wings and flew around Suchen. It showed that it was affectionate. It even flew cautiously. Suchen's shoulders. Suchen smiled and touched her wings. The little guy actually giggled. Suchen looked at her cuteness and nodded her cute cheek. The little elf actually flew over happily. In his hand, holding his fingers and acting like a baby. Hey, that's fun. Suchen was intimate with the little elf for a while, and then asked little guy, what are you capable of? The elf seemed to think for a moment what Suchen meant. Then he flew up happily and waved his hands forward. In an instant, a colorful mist sprayed out, filling the space about 10 meters in front. This colorful mist is very strange. Suchen could not see clearly what was in the mist originally. But when this little elf hand was pressed against his hand, Suchen could immediately see clearly anything in the mist. Hey! Can be used as a smoke bomb. Suchen is still very satisfied with the elf's ability. Then, apart from this, what other abilities do you have? The elf tilted his head and thought for a while, then happily flew in front of Suchen. He actually sang a tune that was out of tune. Suchen was speechless. He was also amused by this guy. He dared to sing such an off-key tune. Singing is also her skill. Suchen couldn't help but pinch her little face again. Then give you a name. Well, how about I call you Xiaokaidi? The elf's wings were colorful and it flew in the air like a small colorful butterfly. When the elf heard the name, it happily flew around Suchen a few more times. Apparently she liked the name very much. Suchen played with her. After a while, he disassembled the treasure box. Ding! You disassemble the blue treasure box and get blue asterisk too. Tip: blue has a chance to directly upgrade your equipment to the blue level. The prompt sounded at the right time. Suchen raised his eyebrows. Can he actually jump directly to the green level and upgrade the white equipment to blue? Suchen thought for a moment. He doesn't have any white equipment at the moment. He already has a machete and a hand crossbow. It has been upgraded to green grade. I don't know if using blue to upgrade green grade equipment to blue will have a higher probability of refining it. Even if you use a blue on a hand crossbow. Ding! Using blue asterisk 1, refining green hand crossbow. Ding! Refining successful. Congratulations on getting the blue hand crossbow. It was a success in no time. Suchen was overjoyed. He picked up his crossbow and looked at it. The original green light has now been replaced by blue light. Moreover, the entire hand crossbow has also become half the size, and its style has become cooler. Among them, the front end of the hand crossbow was actually surrounded by lightning. Suchen looked at the description of this blue hand crossbow. It has manual and semi-automatic shooting modes. In addition, there is a certain probability that the crossbow will be blessed with electric light when shooting. After hitting the enemy will be paralyzed. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1090. Chapter 1090 Refining. Blue Flying Ring. I go. This additional skill is awesome. If he could have had this blue electric crossbow when he attacked the young yaksha just now, then Suchen would be absolutely sure that he could keep the young yaksha. Because the paralysis effect can make the young yaksha, it is difficult to move. This will make it easier for Suchen to kill the opponent slowly with one arrow. Of course, this is all Suchen's own conjecture. The actual effect will not be known until later. There is only one blue left, refining the machete, or refining the floating ring. The floating ring is also green equipment. Currently, Suchen has a blue electro-optical hand crossbow, and his requirements for a machete are not that high. But he doesn't know if the current green floating ring is useful. You have to give it a try first. He immediately put on this green floating ring. Then a thought came to my mind. The whole person seemed to be lifted up by some kind of force. Slowly left the sky. Then, following Suchen's thoughts, he flew up and down above the stone platform. This speed is a bit slow. And he can only fly up and down. Can't move forward, left, or right. What's really special is that it's floating. Suchen is speechless. This ring is a bit useless. Although it can allow him to dig in the passage above the cave in the future. When there are only 2 degrees of freedom in the up and down directions, the range of action is too large. Narrow. I wonder if refining it can expand the function of this ring. Just when Suchen was thinking this, suddenly, the beep sounded in Suchen's mind again. Refining this floating ring to the blue level will allow you to fly with full freedom and extremely fast speed. Hearing the prompt, Suchen raised his eyebrows. Flying extremely fast? How fast? The prompt tone did not sound again. But Suchen began to have some reveries. If it is as fast as I think, then I will have a great advantage in fighting in the future. If the refined floating ring allows him to have extremely flexible flying ability in the air and is extremely fast at the same time, then he will be completely defeated when he encounters that kind of flightless cave monster in the future. This advantages, just thinking about it is very satisfying. Thinking of this, Suchen immediately refined the floating ring. He immediately forgot about the machete. Ding. Consuming blue *1, your green floating ring is being refined. Must succeed. Suchen murmured a prayer. Ding. Refining successful. Congratulations on getting the blue flying ring good. Refining successful. Suchen almost jumped up with joy. The entire ring also changed from the previous green light to blue light. At the same time, the style has also changed, becoming lighter and cooler. Suchen put this flying ring on his hand. A thought came to my mind. The figure immediately began to fly freely in the air. If you want to go left, go left, if you want to go right, go right. Moreover, turning around completely ignores the laws of physics and inertia. He can make a 180-degree turn and fly backwards in an instant while flying forward rapidly. But this kind of rapid U-turn is very taxing on the body. Even though Suchen's physical condition has been improved, he still feels a little uncomfortable. But it's just uncomfortable. Still bearable. Needless to say, this ability is extremely useful in battle. Very reliable against surprise combat. Because this cave is very large. So Suchen simply took the ring and flew throughout the cave. He began to test the ultimate flying speed that this ring brought him, and how far it could reach. It's about 50 meters from here to there. Let's see how long it takes to reach the other end. Suchen got ready. A thought came to my mind. Whoosh! The figure immediately flew out like an arrow from a string. In just 1 second, Suchen reached the other end of the cave. If he hadn't reacted quickly, he would have hit the rock wall. Damn it, this flying speed is fast enough. So cool. Enough for fighting. Suchen is very satisfied with this flying speed. The key is that this thing has no flight time limit. If you arrive in a cave with a very large space in the future, you can even use it to travel. Suchen touched the ring happily. While he was flying, the little colorful butterfly beside him also happily flew with him. What surprised Suchen was that this little colorful butterfly actually she can completely keep up with his speed. And judging from her appearance, she still has some energy left. I didn't expect that this little colorful butterfly has such excellent flying ability. It's very good. It seems that it will be useful in the future. Suchen fell to the ground. It's already lunch, and I'm a little hungry. Let's cook first. Suchen took out the small black ball and unfolded it. Immediately a small wooden house appeared in the open space on the ground. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1091. Chapter 1091 The Big Stomach King Little Colorful Butterfly. Redeem Seasoning. Little Cotty followed Suchen as she approached the cabin, flying around and looking around curiously. Touching here, touching there, I am very happy. Suchen threw 2 boards into the fireplace. Immediately the fire burst into flames. The little colorful butterfly likes brightly colored things and actually wants to fly into the fireplace to play. He was caught back by Suchen. He warned, this is a fire, the temperature is very high, it will burn you to ashes, don't play with it. Xiaokaidi nodded sensibly. Just sit on Suchen's shoulder and watch Suchen do his work. Suchen also didn't expect this little elf to be so obedient and sensible. Being accompanied by an elf is also a very pleasant thing. Suchen hummed a little tune and started processing the snake meat. The elf actually followed Suchen's tone and started babbling. It made Suchen laugh. Xiaokaidi also laughed sillily. Place the snake meat on the iron plate above the fireplace and fry it while sprinkling a little bit of seasoning on it. Seeing that there was only half a packet of seasoning left, Suchen sighed secretly. There's not much seasoning left. Once it's used up, it won't be available anymore. The moment the spices are sprinkled on the barbecue, the aroma fills the entire wooden house. The little colorful butterfly smelled the fragrance. Can't sit still anymore. He flew up and circled the barbecue, very excited. He looked like he wanted to come forward and touch him, but he didn't dare to. This is barbecue. You are an elf and should be a vegetarian. I will give you some fruits to eat later. You cannot eat barbecue. Suchen smiled and said to Xiao Kaidi. Unexpectedly, Xiao Kaidi heard Suchen say that she couldn't eat it. She immediately flew to Suchen's ear and started arguing, babbling. Although Suchen couldn't understand what she was saying. What? But relying on the spiritual connection between the main pets, Suchen could roughly understand that she was arguing that she could eat barbecue. Suchen smiled and continued to fry the barbecue. As the aroma of the barbecue became stronger and stronger, little Kadi couldn't sit still anymore. She flew in the air, staring at the barbecue with her eyes drooling. You little greedy cat. Suchen couldn't help but nodded her little head. Soon. The barbecue is done. Suchen took out the bowl he had obtained before and served it. Then take out the chopped chopsticks. Xiao Kaidi had already flown to the bowl at this time, raising her hands and gesticulating to Suchen. It seems to say that she can eat it too, and she wants to eat it too. Suchen couldn't stand this guy, so he could only use a machete to give her a small piece. Let's see if this guy can eat meat. Unexpectedly, when this piece of barbecue that was as big as her body came to her mouth, she actually swallowed it in a few seconds. The key point is that when Suchen looked at her appearance, she didn't change at all. She was still as slim as before. Strange, where did all the barbecue go? Suchen looked at her curiously. But it was not enough for Xiao Kaidi to eat a small piece. She gestured with her little hands and stared at the barbecue in Suchen's bowl. She still wanted to eat it? Isn't it said in the novel that creatures like elves can only eat vegetarian food? Are the elves in the catacombs different? Suchen saw that Xiao Kaidi liked to eat, so he gave her another big piece. Then he started to feast on it. One person quickly ate the whole piece of barbecue. A whole piece of barbecue, originally, Suchen could eat enough to last for a day. Unexpectedly, half of it ended up in Xiao Kaidi's stomach. This made Suchen only half full. The key is that this guy is still as slim as before. It's light and cute when flying. Could it be that this guy has a space bag in his belly? Suchen was confused. After eating, Suchen took out the fierce dog blood and drank it. Do you drink this stuff? Suchen asked. Xiao Kaidi leaned over the bowl and smelled it, covered her mouth and nose, and shook her head vigorously. Ha ha! Suchen laughed loudly. While drinking the fierce dog blood, he felt the changes in his body. The magnitude of this improvement is getting smaller and smaller. I don't know how much my physique can be improved after drinking the last part of the fierce dog blood. Suchen can clearly feel the improvement of his system from fighting again and again. Otherwise, if he relied on his weak otaku physique at the beginning, he would definitely not be able to deal with the young yaksha. Let alone kill that head. A tall and ferocious dog. It was enough to show the effect of the blood of this kind of cave monster. Suchen opened the game information while drinking. He found that someone had sent him a message. It was Xia Xiaoling, who had done business with him before. Boss, I found some seasonings, but there is no food. Can I trade with you for some food? Huh? Seasoning. Suchen just happens to be short of seasoning. Although there is not much food, he has now planted rice. I believe there will be no shortage in the future. And he still has 1 portion of snake meat and 5 portions of fierce dogs. Meat.